Alright, it's 12:02, so I think we're gonna start. Even if it's no one's watching, it's alright. The video will be good. So, welcome. Yesterday I unboxed the SeemeCNC Rostock MAX V3, and actually, let me move the camera first and foremost. Oh my god, this goddamn camera. Sorry for that. Here we go. So, I unboxed this yesterday, and today I will build the printer. And again, I think this is very important to do, and in detail, because some may... Actually, there's not really any video that describe the build in detail. This will be a very long stream because this is a minimum, I think, 10-hour build, and we're not going minimum because there's going to be commentary, there's going to be extra stuff, there's some extra steps I want to take. Like, for example, cleaning the parts I think is very important, and then there's all sorts of other stuff that I find important to do. So we'll start by going to the website actually and getting the instructions from their website. So, if my hotkeys function correctly, we can go to the SeemeCNC website and plug this computer in. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There you go. The SeemeCNC website, go to downloads, docs and guides, and Rostock MAX V3 assembly. We'll have we'll just open one of the last rev because I just received mine, so it's probably the last revision. And so let's start. Step 1, introduction and pre-assembly. Alright. Step 1, HE280. We won't start with the HE280. I think I'm a bit rusty because this is the HE280 assembly is going to be the hardest part of this build, probably, and the most stressful too, because it requires soldering. And actually, not only does it require soldering, there's little room for error. So let's actually start with the carriage assembly, since it's not really interdependent. I don't think so. So we'll start with the carriage assembly. It's two different sub-assemblies, so we'll just do this. Step 1, locate the part. Carriage pack is 70849. So I'll get the instructions off for now. You can get them on the same website that I went to. So hotkeys should now switch to the camera. That's good. So first step, locate the parts. It's this pack, and well, let's open the pack. So we open this, and I'll actually maybe tilt the computer towards me a little bit so I can see the instructions better. Just see. Okay, so 2 people watching, not bad. Gotta focus on this. I don't want to break anything, because these are very nice injection molded parts. Goddamn contents of the packs and stuff like that. Alright. So we have the transparent carriages. Here, 6 of them. And they're not all the same. There's 3 exterior and 3 interior. Then the small hardware pack, and then some larger hardware pack with the wheels and the bearings. So, step 1, locate the parts. That's already done. Now, I will open them on this table. This table is very flat and nice. Put this away for now, we don't need it. This table is very flat and nice, but it's maybe not as rigid as I would like. So maybe I'll use some other surface to press fit if there is any press fit to be done. And actually, I know there is some press fit to be done, so maybe I'll use another surface. But for now, this will do. So bearings and covers. Look at the 12 R4 bearing and 24 blue bearing covers. Well, let's count them. Okay, so these are very small injection molded parts. I don't exactly remember what they're for, but we're gonna put them there for now. So we'll count the rings and the bearings as we get them out of the bag. Right now we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get these parts out. Small black parts out. Now we got 12 blue rings, 18 blue rings, some injection molded blue parts, the springs I think. Now we got 21 blue rings, and that's 24. So we got some extra. That's nice. Unless I counted wrong. Maybe I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I did count wrong. So that should be good, and then we get 2 extra. Because that's rows of 3s, and we're supposed to get 24. So 8 rows of 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you see that on stream? Maybe not, yeah. I'll tilt the camera slightly. Yeah, that's better. We got 8 rows of 8 rows of these rings, and we got a couple extra. That's always nice when they put a couple extra just in case. So actually, now we get the bearings out, and it's not very useful. What I would want to do is try and arrange these rings in rows of 2 and then match them with a bearing. See if we've got enough of those. So seems like we're good for now. Maybe we're 1 short. Nope. We got the exact right amount of bearings. So everything's matched, and the instructions next say, locate the bearings. That's done. Start by laying a sleeve half on the table. Okay, sleeve half on the table. All right. Face up. Set an R4 bearing into it and firmly press it into place. So that's a press fit thing. Now I want to press on the entirety of the bearing because you don't want to press on the interior part of the bearing. You actually want to press on the entire part of the bearing or it may break. So careful about that. And then set a sleeve half on the table and press the R4 bearing and sleeve to the new sleeve half to complete the carriage wheel. We'll do just that. And also, yeah, the first pressing the bearing into the wheel or ring, whatever, seemed actually fairly easy. But this second half is proving just a tad bit more difficult. Maybe I was lucky with the first one, and okay, here we go. So yeah, press fitting it with your fingers seems it seems good enough, honestly. So I'll go with that. Alright, let's see if we get any kind of discrepancy from this bearing to this wheel to the next. So yeah, the first half is very easy to press fit in. The second half is probably going to be more of a challenge. Actually, this one went in pretty easily. So it looks like there's a very slight gap. I don't know if you can see this very well. There's a very slight gap between the 2 rings when you assemble the wheel. And it doesn't look like you can press fit it harder than that unless I'm making a mistake. I hope I'm not, but if I am making a mistake, then we'll realize it sooner rather than later. So that's a 3rd wheel I'm assembling right now. And actually, I don't need to keep the instructions. I can get the dashboard up if anyone gets in and anyone wants to chat, ask questions or anything. I can be there. I can answer to the best of my knowledge, really. about the printer, about anything else, that I think I said that people from friends from McGill University may come in and ask questions about some material, a math course, I think. So maybe we'll get to see some of that. Maybe it'll be just me pressing things. Yeah, when they just don't wanna try it again, because these things are really made to be assembled like top down. It's really a tight fit, and whenever this thing goes diagonal, then the fit becomes even tighter, so it's almost impossible. But we got 4 wheels and we need a few more. We need 12 of them exactly, so we need 3 times more wheels than that. That's enough wheels for only 1 carriage, and now we have a 5th one. This one actually went pretty well. Now, oh god damn it. You need to be flat on the table, not taking your hands. Maybe, I don't know. What's the best technique to do this? It's not so hard. I had more annoying more annoying things to do really than this. This is not so bad. It's just actually no, it's getting kind of very annoying. Getting to a point where I'm like, isn't there an easier way? No. Okay, so they set this one down. It's a bit random. Some seem to going very easily, and others just don't fucking want. Okay, so well, this is probably all about tolerances. Some rings may have maybe a bit smaller, maybe a bit smaller of an inner diameter than some other rings, and some bearings may be a bit larger than some other bearings. It all comes down to tolerances, and tolerances in these precision equipments actually can make a difference. But that's why the tolerance isn't usually very. The tolerance is usually very small for these precision instruments, but it can make a slight difference in between a bearing not fitting properly and another bearing just going very well. I think I got it now. It's getting fairly easy. I got only 1 wheel left to assemble. And here we go. Okay. So we got our 12 wheels assembled, 4 for each carriage. So let's press on with the instructions. So, okay, that's done with the 12 wheels. So step 3, assembling the spring arms. Alright, these spring arms. The spring arm consists of an inner and outer halves that retain 2 of the R4 bearing rollers you assemble in step number 2. Set 2 R4 bearings on the inner spring arm as shown in photo number 2. Okay, so let's do just that. So we take these wheels and we put them around this spring arm like this. Press fit the outer spring arm into the 2 small posts protruding from the inner spring arm. The fit is very tight, but they will fit. Okay, so we take one like this that has these holes in the arms. Oh god. Try and put it in the same way, I guess. And then apparently the fit is very tight, but it will fit. And I can see what they mean by it. Jesus Christ, this is not gonna be great. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Well, it has to be very tight. Yeah, I'm gonna concentrate for a bit here because this is Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus H. Christ. What? I'm gonna have to concentrate here because this does not want to go in the easy way. It doesn't. Oh my. Son of a gun, I have 3 of these to do. Oh, I think it just pressed on one side. It's gonna make it hard to press it on this side. Yeah, it definitely did press on one side, but this side is not being very nice to me. Oh god. I have to remove it because, like I said, whenever it becomes diagonal, oh shit goes down, not the way you want. Okay, I think it did the exact same thing again, where it presses one side but not the other. And since the fit is very tight, I have to like, see, this is diagonal. We don't want this because then the distance becomes shorter and it becomes practically impossible to fit. We need to put them in both at the same time, ideally. And I see that one of the posts has a little, not a dent, but like there's a bit of plastic protruding from it. And that's kind of annoying. Let's see, there's this other one I think I got done, but this one really doesn't want to fit because of this small piece. Let's try and cut it off. I'm using this wondrous multi-tool I have at my disposal. Oh god, I forgot how hard it is to get the scissors out of there. Okay, so we're gonna remove the bearings, don't want to damage them, and just shave off this extra piece of plastic there. Here we go. That should be much better. And no? Still no? Oh, I think no. Oh god, this is going to be a mess. Oh. Before I make a mistake, yeah, this is like that. This goes in like this. If I was to actually get it in, but the wrong way around, I wouldn't like it. Okay, come on. Boy, oh boy. The fit is very tight indeed. Indeed. And I have 3 of these. Look, we're gonna set those aside for now. I'm gonna try another one. This part is easy. Assembling the bearings on it is very easy, but this, oh boy. Oh my god. This one with the shaving is proving difficult. Oh, Jesus. This is not great. This is much harder than I expected. Alright, but we're gonna spend 10 hours trying to do this apparently. Because stuff, I don't know. I mean, I don't need the instructions. Might as well read chat if anyone wants to talk in chat. If anyone's there at all. Okay, yeah. Parts like this I will probably not include in the YouTube video because it's really annoying for me and probably for our viewers too to watch someone struggle like this. I know I personally don't like to watch people struggle. Oh! No, that's just me getting the bearings out of it. False alert. I hate watching people struggle to do things. It's a mess. Jesus fucking Christ! I really want to hammer this down. A part of me wants to hammer this down with something, but another part of me is like, nah, press fit it. Okay, so I'm gonna press fit this, but probably using something that's gonna make it a bit easier. It's gonna give me more surface area to work with. Here we go. That wasn't so hard. Once I got the right technique. Hey. Okay, so did I just... No. I put it on the wrong side. I put it on the right side. This is not great. Set this one aside for now. Let's try the same technique with another one. Let's put it on the right side this time around. Yeah, okay, so this is much easier. So you get something like that. Just, this is a brush. But the important part is that it's a piece of wood you can put all your weight onto. And it just presses together so easily. Compared to doing it with your bare hands, not a very good idea. But I do have to get this one, like, off. Maybe I can do it with pliers by opening them. Have like a lever effect, something. Here we go. That's great. Just undid one of them, not both. Oh, okay. There goes both. And assemble this back together the right way around this time. Okay, so alright. That's very good. So you got two of them now. You got two assemblies here. And the third one is gonna go in like a charm because we got the technique now. Brush meta. God damn it. It's very nice and all, but if it's not in the right place, it won't fit. There we go. First time! Isn't that insane? Brush OP. Alright. Next step is... okay, so... press fit out a spring iron in order to fully seat the pins once they're starting to roll. You can tap them in using the back end of a screwdriver as a hammer. I do not have a screwdriver at my disposition. So I use, I don't know, something that's not too heavy like this. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure it's good. I also want to make sure, because the last thing I would want to do is have to undo this machine and then put it back together. That would be horrible. Alright, so we're done this part. Now that was the most annoying part. Let's go back to this. Step 4, installing the bearings. Oh, okay, now we need these clear carriage covers, I think we can call them. Install two R4 bearings and a spring arm assembly into the inner carriage aft. Okay, so the inner carriage aft is this one with the hole in the middle, and the spring arm goes on the smaller part. Oh, wait a sec. Okay, so the spring arm goes into the smaller part, like this. And the bearings go into the larger part, like that. It looks like that works. Okay, yeah, sure. Installing it backwards can damage the spring arms. Oh no, yeah, well, we'll install it backwards. This way around. Here. And then install the outer carriage half. Ensure that the alignment pin that carriage half inserts to the hole in the center of the blue spring arm. Okay. So we get one half with the eyes. And we put it on. And we align it as to have the pin go into the spring arm. Great. So that's one carriage done. And I think we do all three like that. Well, actually, let's just finish one off. No, let's do all three like that. So this top up. With these bearings slightly, they don't go all the way in, they just go slightly onto it. Like just they actually protrude from the bottom carriage half. And then when you put the top carriage half on, they're pretty much in the middle, so yeah. Wait a second here. Do I? Well, that's yeah, I think I'm supposed to press fit them together a bit more than that, because there seems to be a lid that actually goes into the upper half, but maybe not all the way. Probably not all the way. Which is why... Well, let's leave him like that for now. Maybe later when we screw it in, it'll have a tighter fit. Okay, so last carriage assembled, I think. And here we go. Alright, next. Now we got all three carriages. The fastening. So we're gonna use these small fasteners here inside this bag. Try and open it. And actually, I do want to get like a basket or a box for this, because I don't want any of these fittings, fasteners I mean, not fittings, go out. I'll just take a small box I usually use for Legos, but I mean that's useful for this too. They say fix the outer carriages with the inner carriage halves using 3 number 4 times 18 sheet metal screws in the location. Sheet metal screws, okay. So sheet metal screws there. Tighten these gaps, okay. That is, whoa. Okay, which screws are those? We're gonna need these screwdrivers, these small screwdrivers. The inner carriage half using 3 number 4 times 1.5. Huh. Alright, so if we look on this slip. Number 4. That was 1.5 sheet metal type B, stainless steel, pan head Philip. So pan head should be this, I'm pretty sure. No, is it? Yes, it should. I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, what's a pan head? I feel ashamed. Okay, that's a pan head. So we are correct. That's a pan head. And we're gonna use those in the 3 places they show in the instructions manual. And it looks like it just screws itself in, doesn't need a nut or anything. Okay, this is... Wow. This is gonna be... Do I? No, don't I? Where's... I used to have a vice grip on here. I can't find my vice grip. It's actually the largest tool I got around here, which is a bit weird to not see it. So it's a bit weird that I don't see it, but hey, I'm gonna do with this. So what I'm seeing right now is that this, oh fucking, sorry. Oh Jesus. Oh, the humanity. Maybe the largest screwdriver will make it easier. Okay, slightly, but not really. What I'm seeing here is that this is like a self-tap kind of thing, but the screws don't seem to be self-tapping, which is just a little bit hard on your fingers when you have such a small screwdriver like this. Maybe the large screwdriver will be easier, but I mean, let's see here. So yeah, the instructions have you screwing them all the way in. No way I'm gonna be able to make it with this small electronic screwdriver. I need the real deal. And I used to have a screwdriver box around, but I think it's been moved. Let's see. There we go. That'll make it much easier. Okay, so with this big screwdriver, hopefully can get these screws in fairly easily. Yeah. Easy as hell. Maybe a bit tiring on the arms eventually, but I got good arms, so I got good arms. I have strong arms, so this is probably gonna go well enough. It's pretty much in the bottom. Okay, so this is pretty much assembled as far as I'm concerned. And we just got to do the same thing with the same screws on these other carriages. Actually, I should start with the screw on the side here, because you can actually see very well when it's done, and so you can kind of see with the other screws, like, okay, so because I think they're all about on the same level, and you can kind of see with the other screws when this one is done, like how much I have to screw it in. Because these other screws, you don't want to strip them, because I don't know, for some reason you may want to take it apart if something's wrong or whatever. The way you built it. So generally not stripping screws should be a thing you should worry about when assembling anything, really. Because it means that your screwdriver is going to last a bit longer, because screwdrivers do get damaged when you strip screws. 3 more screws. And we're supposed to have how many of them? 15? So, I know they probably have more of these small hardware pieces than is necessary. They have a lot more of them. What? Okay. Yes. Kind of inconsistent, but alright. I was like, maybe this is not the screws I'm supposed to use, but then again, it's the only panhead screws in the box. Well, the pack. And also, like the only thing that has more pieces than these screws, because there are a lot more screws than 15. Oh, I say a lot more. I just installed 12. 15, there's 18, and that's 20 of them. There's nothing that has 20 pieces, no part that has 20 times that, Jesus Christ, not that it has 20 times. There's no part that is a 20 of in this pack. The only one that's larger than the number of panhead screws is the rings, and even then there was extras. Oh god, this is actually not. It does require some strength. It's not as easy as it seems. But looks like we went through it fine, and we have the 3 carriages assembled. So tighten the screws. Do not over tighten. There is a deliberate 1mm reveal gap between 2 carriages. Yep. That's about what I saw. It's not really a gap, but it's a sort of gap, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you can feel when you screw them. You can really feel the end of the hole, like when the head of a screw is kind of hitting the back part, because your screwdriver actually starts skipping turns, and you don't want to have that. And final assembly later. So all these small parts here and these black parts, we'll all put them in this box for now. And I don't know, I can't really have the carriages in this box, so we'll just have them hang out in this basket right back here. And carriages can go, well, just right next to it in the same basket. Why not? Always organize your workplace, and always have a trash can ready. Actually, very nice how they put all these bearings together in the small thing. All right, so now I feel a bit more waked up. I'm gonna give the HE280 assembly a shot. Hopefully it goes well. I also have made myself with the Tivo Tarantula in the background. Well, you probably can't see it, but it's there. I actually made myself this little arm, which will help me solder the accelerometer probe to different wires. Has to be soldered to. With this clip, I can clip the board, and then I can solder in the air like this. I can orient it in many different directions according to what I want. And I'm gonna use my soldering iron I have back here, and this thing. Now, I don't think I'm gonna need a soldering iron this soon. But I do want to prepare myself a bit. And I do want to prepare myself a bit because I'm going to need an extension, because there's no electric outlet near enough for the soldering iron to plug in. And this thing does need to be hot when I need it. Also, I kind of want to put some kind of tape on this, because I don't know if hot metal dripping down on PLA plastic will cause any problems, and I'm thinking maybe it will. So I'm gonna put some tape on this. I'm gonna find an extension to plug the soldering iron. I'm gonna wet this sponge, and I'll be back. And we're back. If I can set up this goddamn camera properly, should be good. Actually, I want to point it down just a tad bit more. Maybe. Alright, that's good. So, I got some painter's tape on this. So, painter's tape actually requires a much higher temperature to burn than the temperature at which the plastic under it will melt. So hopefully what happens is that when some metal drops down on here and is hot enough so that the time it takes to drop down, it actually stays very hot. By the time the heat is transferred to the plastic, it's cool enough so that it doesn't produce any more heat. That's the theory behind it. And hopefully it'll work. And also, I can power this on now. I forgot to wet the sponge, but you know what? Might as well do it quickly while this heats up. And here we are. So, got a wet sponge, we got the soldering iron turned on, and we'll go back to the HE280 assembly guide. So as we seen yesterday in the, I read the read me first. Read me first. Okay, so we're gonna start. It says the hot and wet part. Actually, I may not want the soldering iron hot yet, because there's quite a bit of instructions to go through before we do the soldering iron. So let's see this. Look at the parts that will be used to assemble your HE280 whip. They are part of the hardware pack 84490. Okay, so I kind of think I know what this is. I think this is this. 84490. Yep, it is. So I'll get this, and at the same time I'll read this. They are part of the hardware pack. The second position terminal blocks used for the assembly can be connected to that connect to heat 0, fan 0, and heat 2 bed are located in the Rambo box in a Ziploc bag. Okay. So do we actually need those? I don't know. Let's see here. It says we're gonna need this. Then we're gonna need this. I guess it's some heat shrink, and then some. Let's actually get this back open. So we got some kind of snake thingy. This stuff is so fun to play with. It's so squishy. Okay, that's for the wires later. We got some. I thought these were terminals, but they're actually just zip ties, and then an actual wire terminal. So we got that. We do need that. These 4 parts. Now we need the wires, not the wires. We don't need the bowline tube for now. I'll just put it back in the box it came from. Now these wires, we need all of them apparently, so I'll just put the stack there in the middle. And okay, so this is what happens. We actually need the 2 position terminal blocks in the, it says, found in the final assembly hardware packs. No. I'll look it in the Rambo box. In the Rambo box! Oh god. Okay, so we're opening this, boys and girls. Don't want to discriminate. Okay. I think I opened the bag while doing so. That's sad. Put this apart for now. This is a hardware bag inside a hardware bag. It's amazing. The rainbow box. And I have yet to open. So for that. Okay, so these 2 packs of hardware we'll probably use much later. Actually, we'll not probably use much later. I know exactly when we're gonna use it, and trust me, we're not there yet. So, Ultimate Machine Rambo. Here we go. Oh, actually, it doesn't open like. How the hell does this thing open? Just open like that. I don't want to damage it. It's a nice box. Okay, so it opens like this. Or does it? This is weird. It's like you see this box on the inside, right? From here. And then you see it there, but it just won't. Oh! This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. What? It's a bit dumb, alright. I won't judge. Okay, so now we open this, and then there's a rainbow inside, and then there's bags of stuff. Is this? No, it's not. And the sides, maybe. What is this? This is USB cable. I don't care. This is what? Ah, terminals. This is what I want. We want 2 terminals. One like that, I think, and another one like that. Pretty much the same thing. We want the same thing. That's a lot of small parts in that bag. That scares me a lot. So we'll try and put this box back together. What the actual hell? Maybe it was probably like that, wasn't it? Something like that. And then here like that. God! I want to put this box back together so it sits nice and tight on the desk. I don't want to have it open like that. God damn it. Apparently I do have to live with that. Okay, whatever. Just pray that we don't step on it. Let's put the cardboard on top of it if that ever happens. So I'll just make sure that these actually are the ones we need by looking at the picture. And yeah, they seem to be what we need. Okay, what's this little thing? It's nothing. Okay. Install mesh loom. Alright. That's nice. It's gonna be fun. Use a bit of tape to group the wires. Oh, God damn it. A bit of tape, huh? Nah, I'll actually go get actual tape. I'll do this many times, it looks like. So, I may be used to getting the camera in place quickly. If I remember that you needed more tape, I would have gotten the whole wheel of painter's tape right off the bat, but there it is. Okay. Tape glue the wire ends together on the end without connectors in order to make it easier to route throughout the mesh loom. Yes, that is a very good idea because not doing it makes it a lot harder than it needs to be. A lot harder. Oh, this is... Huh? Oh god. Okay, let's get these wires one at a time. The orange wire? Yeah, Jesus Christ. There's no terminal on this orange wire. Oh god. Okay, so this is a problem. They're all bundled together like crazy. Trying to pull gently on them, but here we go. I think we got another one free. It's like a game, you know. The more you get free, the easier it gets to free them. The more. Okay, so this orange wire just bundled in a weird way. Okay, so we separated the bundle into two bundles. A bundle of a black wire we'll put on top of the red wire. They probably go together. And then a bundle of this blue pre-terminated wire. And then oh my. Okay, so we got one wire that is a pre-terminated white and green wire bundle thing. Put it there for now. And then pre-terminated black and red. Alright. So now we got those separated. Group the wire ends. So all of them. Okay, so we put all of them together. And we put all the terminals on the same end. And for those who don't have terminals, well, it doesn't matter. So we'll do just that. Get them all nice and together. Now these double wires are probably going to be just a tad bit more complicated, and probably not so much. Because they come in pairs. And did I drag anything on the floor? I'll just put this tie wrap on the table. Try not drag it on the floor. And that should be it. So that's my wire bundle here. I got all my non-terminated ends and random ends for those wires that don't have terminals that we will probably have to solder. And we'll bundle them together with a bit of tape and put them through the wire loom. Alright, so this is gonna be fun. Actually, I should tape the end and make like a little ball or something at the end so that it doesn't. It's really easy to get through the wire loom. Yeah, well, I want a smaller ball than that. Hopefully, I don't end up putting too much tape as to have these wires not fit in the loom and mesh anymore. Oh god, I think that's what's happening. God. I just want to put it in. You can't really cut this because if you cut like the ends at which it's being held together, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. The loom is gonna completely disintegrate. Alright, so I have to remove some tape. You can't have all this tape. That's too much. That's too much tape. Okay, so it's in. Hopefully it doesn't, we don't run into too many troubles. We shouldn't. Now having the wire loom like this, okay, so we just ran into some trouble, but I think it's gonna be fine. It's just that one of the wires poked out of the loom, and it doesn't want to get in any further because one wire is not only poking out, but it's actually splitting itself, so we don't want that. Because I know that these ends are actually they actually got the wire ends, the plastic parts stripped off in advance, which is very nice. But it does make it slightly harder because when I pulled on these wires by removing the tape, well, what happened is that these plastic parts got removed in the process, and then wires poking out as I inserted into the mesh loom. But it looks like I kind of found a way to prevent that from happening too much. Hopefully having like a straighter path make it easier. It looks like it's almost out, at which point it really doesn't matter. Is anything poking out? Hopefully not. I think I see something poking out. Actually, this is much easier. Like move like a snake, like that. Yeah. Then you pull on the end. Oh. These wire looms are really made to oh god, it's all mixed up here now. God damn it. Please. Please. Okay. Like I was saying, these looms are made to tighten around the wires and not have them slip out. So now it's done. Wires are into the loom, and I can pretty much move it as I want. Now this end is still getting really annoying, so I'm probably gonna tape the ends together here just so that they actually learn to behave, and hopefully after like I don't know how many hours I will put into building this thing before I use these terminals again, they'll be stretched out in a way that makes it easier for me. And now we can remove all the tape we put on these ends, I think. I hope. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll have it stay there for a while, actually. Because it's actually being useful in not having all these wires wobbling around. So for now, let's keep it like that. Okay, it's a mesh loom. Insert the cable mount hub. Okay. Oh, don't troll on that. This is a cable mount hub into the wire bundle. All right, so the picture shows it going through the terminal, the terminals like this. Like that. And then down on the mesh. It's probably very important to have it oriented the right way. So do be careful about that. Because this thing is I was going to say probably, but most certainly going to screw in. Actually, I may want to put this terminal in. What the oh. Well, this is much easier to do that. Instead of going through the terminals, just go the other way around through the non-terminated wires. That's being done. Alright. Now that that's done, just put that in this direction to the terminated wires and just, I don't know, keep it there. For now, that'll do. Alright. Yeah, I know the orientation. It says in the instructions to be careful about it. So now comes the heat shrink part, where I will probably have to go fetch another tool, which is not really a tool. I'm gonna have to go fetch a hair dryer probably, but not right now. So to prepare the heat shrink tubing, one side needs to be stretched enough to fit over the end of the pluggable 8 position. Okay, I know how to do this one. This one is actually a really stressful part, and one of the reasons I was somewhat reluctant to do the HE 280 Ardent right off the bat. But I think we don't need to do this right now. Let's see, let's read the instructions properly. This side is stretched enough to fit over the end of the level. The easiest way to do this. Yes, I know. Persist slowly open the place, stretch heat shrink. They require a shorter section, inserting in place further, and then stretching out that section to fit the heat shrink to be in the very end of the flow. Up position wire terminal. You can see in the pic the proper depth of the plug inserted into the heat shrink. Okay. So we need to insert it this way around. This is not straight, so we'll insert it in the straight cut. You have to insert it this way around with the these metal things right there, and it needs to go about, I think it says that it needs to go about up to, it needs to cover these metal parts, and yeah, so you got like two sets of holes. One holes where it's you can see the very shiny metal part, and another, when you can kind of see something but not really. Yeah, the holes with the metal parts needs to be covered. So we'll start stretching it out slowly, and we do this with pliers like these, long noses preferably, and we have to do this very gently. Now this is a bit tougher than I imagined. I thought it would be way less tough than it, at least what it looks like. But this is a... Ooh, yeah. I really don't know how to screw this up, because I know some people who buy these things. Actually, I already have heat shrink tubing, and they're like, okay, so that's nice. They give me pre-cut heat shrink tubing, but if I fuck up, I can just get one of mine. But I don't. So if I break this, it's not going to be great for me. Slowly. And a bit more. It does take a while to stretch, doesn't it? Gosh. So I'm just, let me actually just make a mark so I don't have to refer to this. Can we see this? Not really, we can't. I have a ball pen, yeah. It's a black ball pen, but this is gray, so it'll probably do the job. Have this like that, you need to be shrinked up to like there. Yeah, it does the job. It is somewhat reflective. So let's do this. Oh. This is about the length I want to stretch that, so I'm just gonna keep it like this for a while maybe. Oh. It's starting to give in. Maybe I'll stretch a bit further. It so looks like it's about to break. It's insane. Doesn't feel that way though, so that's a good thing. It's actually need to be stretched out much more than this. Which doesn't look very healthy for the thing. God damn. And it stretches, it shrinks back so much too. I don't want to heat it too much. Because then it's gonna shrink. And I don't want that. Hell, I don't want that. Let's try as they say, like stretch it a lot, but a small interval. And stretch it more, larger. This will take a while. Anyone has any good jokes? Any progress? Yeah, kinda. I love how on the SeemeCNC packing list they have like checkboxes, but they don't actually check them. It's funny. Maybe they used to and they just don't now because they're so used to packing these things. Maybe. This is boring. I have nothing to tell either. Oh, come on. It's gotta be stretched so much. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I wonder if you could actually like have this stretch. No, because I don't know. We don't actually want to put it on right now because we still need to connect things to this. This would actually fit in. If I were to put like between the between the pliers, it would actually fit inside. Oh, I think we got a good stretch. Only need to stretch the entrance a bit now. Come on. This is the boring part of making this printer. The rest is all fun. But this sucks. And it smells weird also. That's another thing. The box smells weird because just the melamine parts smell weird. Is this good enough of a stretch?
Well, it's a bit of a stretch, but
oh, I don't want that. Oh, that's not equal either. Okay, that's way too far. I feel more confident right now in the durability of this thing. I mean, it is going to look very nice when it's done. When compared to my Tarantula, which looks like utter shit right now. It's gonna be looking very, very nice. Because no wires are going to be on display. Unlike in that printer. Stretchies. Alright. Please, please, please fit. Please. I gotta stretch it so much more. This is gonna be the single longest step. Single most annoying step, even more than soldering. I can't get away with soldering. It's a bit tedious. It's usually very fine. Very fine. It's usually fine. I usually don't have any kind of problems with it. But this is just... This is just boring to watch. You know why it's boring to watch? Because it's boring to do. God. Ugh. Come on. I if giving it a good, like, a good stretch would stretch it like indefinitely, like just will keep itself stretched, or if I really need to keep it there for long, maybe just I'm banking too much on like the effect of it stretching out like that. Maybe I should give it more force. For less time, but then that's kind of destructive. Maybe that's what I need to do though. Oh god! It's fucking broke. I poked through, but it didn't like completely break, so worst part is that it's still not stretched enough. Maybe I just don't have the technique. I swear, everything is fine, but the end strength does not want to be stretched at all. It doesn't need to be hermetically sealed, it's just somewhat needs a... Oh god! Just a bit more, and we're there. Don't break. Here we go. So I entered, but it's not... I can't have it far enough inside. I need to work on the level. It's supposed to be. This is so breaking. Okay, like this. This stuff, I swear, when I put my hands on it, it shrinks. And it's normal because it's heat shrink. My hands do give out heat. But damn if it's annoying. Okay, I'll have it like this for now. Yeah, I actually have it stretched much further than that. I should go all the goddamn way. The pictures. Like this or something. Which I don't know, I find kind of dumb, maybe. Or maybe it's really a way to go. I swear the entrance is not making it easy for me. Okay, yeah. Later, I want to wire this first. So put this around the non-terminated part, like that. Because this is going to be our terminal, apparently. Okay, next insert the wires. From end of the width, add any connectors into the pluggable 8 position push-in wire terminal plug-in. The correct order wires is shown here. It is critical that the wires are not frayed at the ends and that you insert them into the correct location, the pluggable 8-position push-in wire terminal. The orange wire should be inserted to position 1 in this plug as noted in the HG280 whip diagram. Insert the wires one at a time. The preferred method to use needle nose plier to grasp the wire approximately 5 millimeters to push the end of the wire into the plug. Grasp the wire again approximately 5 millimeters from the plug and push the wire in again. Repeat if necessary. If you're having difficulty with the smaller gauge wires, you can depress the pin from the side of the connector gently with a flat head while holding the Okay. So if I'm having troubles, I'll look that up. And let's have a look at the whip diagram. Okay, so position 1. Let's see. So it's on this side. All right. So position 1 is the orange wire. So let's get this tape off first. Okay, so all these should be No, this one's not. This one doesn't look pre-stripped either. This one is. Red wire here. I think I see a pre-stripped part. All right. Now that makes it easier. So we take it by the end like this, pull it, and it comes off. Now they strip it at the exact right length, or at least exact right length, a good length. So I do recommend that you use the length of which they stripped it and not try to strip them yourself, because they probably know how their printers work more than you do. That's kind of the rules for these sorts of things. All right, so now that we've pulled out the installation of all the wires at the ends, we have this little L mark on the wire. So the metallic face forwards like this. Up is the first position. That's where the orange wire is going. So I'll put the orange wire in first position. And the little L, actually, I'll show it. It's up here. It's shown in the wire diagram, but up here is like a little L. I don't know if you can see the reflection. There's a little L that's not engraved, but into the it's part of the plastic part. Oh god, okay. So take it 5 millimeters for the end. Then press it. First position here. Then 5 more millimeters. Press it again until it goes to the bottom like this. So I guess that works. So that's first position. Second position is red wire. And that's a higher gauge wire. Or lower gauge. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how they work. I think this one is lower gauge. because it said that you may have problems with these lower gauge wires. I do feel that it's connected enough, because they do strip them a bit more than the others for a reason, because I don't think the insulation actually fits inside the holes of the terminal. Oh, maybe it just does. But this one seems far enough. So, black wire now into third position. Maybe I'll use a place. Oh, I don't want that to happen. I don't want the wires to bend. That's bad for business. I'll take them by the end and give them a little twist. So it actually doesn't bend. I'm gonna try and put it in. Hopefully it will. It will bend. Now this looks good enough. Come on, boy. God damn it. You just don't want to go in. I don't think I should tin them. Yeah, the insulation does not go inside these terminals. It's just too large. Too damn large. Nah. It doesn't want to. Okay, so fourth position is going to be the white wire. And again, troubles. So we'll do as they say. The Neil nose pliers. Well, it's not really as small as the needle, but it should do the job. Honestly, I think they stripped this one a bit too much. I'll just shorten it a bit. This goes against what I said before. Oh, actually, I couldn't. God damn it, because these needle nose pliers are very old. Maybe we can get this correctly. No, can't. We can't. Let's try cut it with this. Oh really? Oh really? It doesn't seem like we can do anything about it. Actually, I may want. Maybe I can use the scissors to do that. There we go. And hopefully, oh my, this just fell and dragged one of the terminals with it. The other one's on the table, so no need to worry about this one. Okay, so it pushed in successfully. Pushing a bit more with the pliers. And we're good. No, we're not. Never mind that. Just little taps. Very gentle. Push it just a little bit at a time. Eventually. I'll go in. I think that's good enough. Oh. Seems that it wants to go in a bit further. But now that's it. Okay. It doesn't want to go in anymore. So that's the 4th position. 5th position is the black wire. I think. 6th position is black wire. Yeah. So this one will give us less of a headache than the others. Push it in gently. Millimeter by millimeter. I think that's good. It's not. They did say that we can go in like one of these and push this, I think. It'll give way, I don't know. Yeah, I know, this is not working like I wanted to. Oh, let's read. Playable 8th position, the reservation. Okay, so try to do as they say, do it very much downwards. Can't do anything with the white wire, but I think it's good. Black wire, on the other hand, doesn't want to cooperate. It really doesn't. As soon as I try pushing down, it just bends out of shape. At that point, there's not much I can do. Yeah, it bends out of shape. Like that. As soon as I try pushing it in any kind of way. Just like the white wire did. Gosh! Depress the pin from the side of the connector gently with a flat head. I don't know how to do that. From the side of the connector, wait. depress the pin from the side of the connector gently with a flat head. It went so well with the orange wire too. It's sad. Oh! It went in. No, it's just bent. It doesn't want to go in anymore. It just wants to bend. Okay. It doesn't go out anymore, so I think that's good enough. Put them with the others. But I swear these the black and red wires are kind of... The red wire seems fine, but the black wire is a bit worrying me just a little bit. I hope it's fine. Hopefully it is. So next position would be the red wire. Alright. Let's try this one. We only got 3 left. Good, because I'm starting to get tired of this. Oh, this one's going alright. Hell yeah, it's going in fine. Perfect. It's going in perfectly. Alright. Next one. Blue wire. Okay, so I may want to cut that off. Twist it. Put it in. And push it. And it pushed in. Without any problem. Great. And the last one is green. Now this one's a bit long, but I think it's going to be alright. Hopefully. Going in very well. And there you go. Now the only wires I'm actually kind of worried about are the... Let me pull on that a bit, just a tap. Alright, the only wires I'm actually kind of worried about are the red and black wire, and more precisely the black wire, because I can't seem to push it in further. Because the entrance hole isn't large enough for the insulation. But it seems to be fine, I guess. So we'll keep it like that. And fingers crossed it goes well. Probably won't. Now we need this little instrument. And we need to measure the distance at which we attach a wire tie or a zip tie. A tie wrap for those who live in the normal universe. Oh, this is okay. So down a wire so it approximately 5 mm from the playable 8 position wire 10 mm plug. Okay, so we need to slide this down a lot, basically. I'm gonna put the heat shrink to go over the wire mesh, and we are going to try to move this around, but it's not being very easy. Oh, never mind. That's how you do it. You're just gonna know the technique. Alright, so let's see. 5 mm should be like that. That's not good enough. That's better. And then what? Attach it at 10 millimeters. Now this probably doesn't require master precision, but just in case it'll be done correctly. It will be done correctly. Okay. This is there. That's going here. And we'll just loop it. And shorten it so that we can very easily just finish the job off. Okay, so the wire mesh is at about 5 millimeters from the 8 position connector, and the zip tie is at about 10 millimeters from the connector. All right, now what? This is done, and I thought that was going to be the easy part. God. So, tighten securely. Okay, so then cut this, I guess. We'll tighten it with the pliers. Okay. That's probably good enough. And then cut it. Alright. And now we actually need to slide this on. Now this is not a joke anymore. Come on. No, I can't understand why they want to stretch it beforehand. Okay, I think I got it. It might very well be stretched enough. So that we can actually get this far enough. Oh, this side is working very well. I just need a little push from the other side. Come on. It's so close. This is a side that is kind of broke, which is why I'm having trouble. Okay, I don't want to tear it apart any more than I need to. It's so close. Okay. This is going to have to be good enough. It hides the things all the way around. It kind of slides up here a tiny little bit, but then again, this is gonna have to be it. So then, okay. So we need to shrink this. I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you know what? Let's try putting this close to it. Let's try putting a soldering iron close to it. And maybe it'll work out. So, while I do this, is there anything else I can do? Oh god, I just slide all the way up. Slid. Let's see if I can get this to stretch any further. Because ideally I would get this heat shrink just a tad bit. Oh god, I don't want to tear it again. Just a tad bit further. Come on, you can do it. He did. Alright, so this is a pretty crappy job. But then again, I don't have the expertise that some of the people at SeemeCNC have, so this is my first time fucking around with heat shrink tubing, so sorry for not being as good. So my plan is that this being hot enough, this being hot will be able to heat the hair around it enough so that this will make it shrink. But it's not comparable to a flame. Probably not. Ain't doing crap. Oh, maybe. I mean, it's not incredibly hot right now anyways. Ooh, I shouldn't get this there. Let's see. Let's do the next step. Actually. So, securing the cable mount hub. 32 inches from the end of the whip with the plug hole 8 position, push in wire terminal plug and make a mark on the mesh loom. Applying a piece of tape works well. Align the cable mount hub with the mark. The reference is the opposite of the threads. Oh, what? Cable mount hub. Okay. The reference is the opposite of the threads on the cable mount hub as shown in the pic. Okay. I see. A crescent wrench and a vice grip. I don't know if we have a crescent wrench. Well, we do have a crescent wrench, so I'll need to get the right one. But a vice grip. I'm supposed to have this around here. Oh, there it is. There's my vice grip. So my vice grip, I'll probably go get a crescent wrench. And at the same time, I probably try and get some tool that is more useful than this for shrinking this tubing. It's not working very well. I don't really want to use a lighter. I guess I'll try using a hairdryer, and if that doesn't work, then yeah, I'll use a lighter. Alright. So we got a hairdryer, we got a measuring tape, and I actually forgot to dig this. And I will actually go and try and find a wrench that matches this very quickly. Alright, so I have the right wrench now, and we can press on. Alright, so this is getting at a reasonably high temperature. Well, for one last time, I'm trying to see if it heats the hair enough so that this heat shrink tubing will shrink. I know, just... No, it doesn't. Alright. So, next thing we'll try will be the hair dryer. Let's see if that works. It is pretty hot. Oh, it looks like it's working. It is shrinking. How much longer I need to keep it up? This is pretty much like a less powerful hot air gun, really. And it's beautiful enough, like. There's a bit more to go. It's getting there. Oh god. This hole is getting larger too, that's bad. I have a second heat shrink tubing, so if I really feel brave, I'll maybe try another one to not have the hole. So we'll let it settle down. This seems actually pretty nice, so we'll leave it as is for now. Put this down, maybe I'll need it later. And now it's time that we measure the distance using this. We'll keep the soldering iron hot. So it says to measure from the 8 position terminal. So we'll measure 32 inches as is asked. And we'll get this one place on the table because I don't want to be left on my legs. Some tools away, some of these parts away. There we go. Looking like this, like that. I'll take a piece of tape. Put it there. And 32 is marked by this end of the tape. So let's slide this all the way over here. And the 32 mark should be exactly at the front of this here. So we tighten this down. 32, right? Yeah. Okay, so The wrench I got is for this smaller part here. So we'll use the vice grip to grab the larger part. How far can the vice grip go? Oh, pretty damn far. Okay. Okay. And then that. And actually secure it in the right position, please. These are very large tools. Huh. Maybe I can be smart and try and make it so this doesn't move. Here we go. Perfect. Now just screw this in. It seems as if... Oh, it looked good enough, but it wasn't. Just another twist, maybe. And screw just a bit more. Get this tight. Alright. And it's done. No need for these tools anymore. Get down here. While you're running out of space here. No need for this anymore. Put it down. There we go. And voila. Now we've got this. There's a hole on the side, but it's alright. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. And then we got this secured. So the wiring mesh is completely secured now. And the next step is to install the terminal plugs. These two small things we picked up I don't know how long ago. Seems like ages now. And we'll wire them. So install 2 position terminal plugs. Okay, so let's actually read on this stuff. Control 2. You will now install the supply 2 position terminal plugs to the remaining wire. They are packed with the wired box with the rainbow board. Yep. The HE220 whip diagram shows the correct connections. All right, let's see this diagram. So there's 2 of those. Fan 0 and heat 0. Fan 0 is for the orange wire. So we'll remove. Actually, let's go back to this. We'll remove the insulation on these wires, just as we did for the other side. On this is, they didn't cut a lot of insulation, did they? Oh god. Maybe that'll be good enough. Nope. Gonna remove this insulation bit before removing the rest. And actually, I may want to strip that just a little bit. That doesn't look too healthy. All right. That's good. Just twist those wires. And here we go. Okay, so fan 0, just take one of them. And you need to put the orange wire in the minus position. So I know how to manage these things. Just need to get a flat head. I think they're already unscrewed, so that's great. So minus position is the side where there's the clip, and we put the orange wire there, and we screw in with the flathead. Should give us a solid connection. And heat 0 is the other one, and for that one we'll put the red in the plus, which is a side without the clip, and the black in the minus, which is a side with the clip, and screw those in just like we did with the orange one. Oh, the black one seems not to be screwed in enough. Tighten it just a little bit. Oh, it just goes back out. Why is that? Come on. Okay, they both pop back out. Let's try again. So black in the negative. Nope. So not working. We'll take a larger flathead. And that will give us more force, and therefore more grip on the wire. Here we go. And the black wire just popped back out. The red wire seems fine though. So I'll just put the black wire in again. Try it another time. This time it should be strong enough. All right. So now with those things connected correctly, so orange wire in the minus part of fan 0 where the clip is at, and then red in the positive part of heat 0, and black in the negative part of heat 0 where the clip is at. Okay, so that seems good. And we'll keep them bundled like they are for now. And go back to other stuff. Okay. I think we just finished the wiring whip. Screws in terminal block are as loose as possible for strands of wire being forced on their connectors. What? Make sure the screws in the terminal blocks are as loose as possible to prevent strands of wire being forced under the connectors. Okay. Yeah, polarity correct. Okay, so we need to tighten the tighten the vacant position. I guess. All right. Now that this is done, we can press on to the next part. Wire whip is assembled, and we can move on. Now this is a scary part. This is the part where you have to do some soldering, although it's very nice of them to actually give us the advantage of having the hot end already built. Because on the diagram it shows, I'll show you the diagram. On this diagram, it shows that there is this thing is actually in several different pieces, which is a bit strange. I mean, why would they ship you this in several different pieces? Maybe because it's simpler, but still, it's very nice of them to assemble as far as, because this was kind of one of the things I was worrying about, because of the how you just put this thing together. It's not always clear, you know, but it's nice. So put these plastic parts aside for now. Okay, so what they want us to get is this thing, the accelerometer probe. That's the packing slip. And that. Okay, so they are part of the hardback. Nah. Some of the metal parts may have been loosely assembled before shipping. God damn it. I think they're talking about this. Yeah, it's very loose. Okay, so we have to disassemble this and actually do it correctly. Well, sad, bro. Can actually still touch like the WD-40 they put on this. It's amazing. And then this. Oh god. So we do have to assemble everything from scratch. No. Okay, so the fans, we can worry about the fans later. For now, what is this? Okay, this is something. Okay, so this is tubing, I guess. This is the, oh god, this is the heat resistor. What is that? That is a very small terminal, and that is something, I don't know what that is. Another piece of tubing, I think that's one is heat shrink tubing. This is the thermistor. This is a clip. And there's plenty of little parts I don't exactly want to get out right now. Eventually, I guess. And this is, I don't know what that is. Another thermistor. Yeah, let's keep it there. SeemeCNC runs that machine parts through. The machine parts through a cleaning routine to remove metal burrs and other debris. With that, it will still be a good idea to visually inspect the parts and run a Q-tip on the inside of orifices of the part to ensure that there are no lingering metals where there shouldn't be. Well, let's look at them. Let's get a big flashlight. There it is. Let's look inside. Yeah. Yeah. Passing a Q-tip seems reasonable. So, you know what that means. And we're back with Q-tips, a bunch of them. Just let me put the camera back on, and I'm getting better at this. Here we go. A bit more pointed downwards. That's good. So we'll take these parts, and we'll get a Q-tip through them, gently. Slowly, with love and passion. All right. Get another Q-tip. I don't want the Q-tips to get all weird and just drop bits of cotton inside. That would be bad. But it seems as if this is good enough, so we shall press on. And move to the next step. Next step being preparing the heater block. Locate the heater block. Locate the heater block. Okay, so that's this. 12 volt 40 watt heater cartridge. Is a thing with two ends. So I'm guessing that. Into the side of the, okay. And 2 M3.5 times 10 Phillips span head screws. Where are those? Inside there. Oh God. Three of these screws, huh? 1, 2. Oh, they're not the same fucking size. And 3.5 times 10 millimeters. Let's see. Not exactly sure which is which. I don't know, this is the small ones. They're talking about the small ones. So we got 3 small ones and 2 big ones. Actually 4 small ones, 2 big ones that I unpacked. We only needed 2 of them. That's fine. Insert a heater cartridge to the side of the heater block. The lids of the heater cartridge should stick out the side of the heater block with 3 holes. Okay. There's only one thing about these leads is that I think I have to insert these small red tubings because that's what it shows in the picture. So they say insert the heater cartridge into the side of the heater block. That. With 3 holes. On the side with 3 holes. I see 1, 2, 3, and the other one only has 1. Sweet. The leads should be in a horizontal orientation and not vertical. They are in horizontal orientation. Look at that. I am a gosh darn genius. Incredible. Secure the heater cartridge and the heater block by tightening both of the screws. Okay, so that my Phillips screwdriver. Here we go. These are gonna fall out. That's just how it is. And there it goes. So be sure to get them tight. Well, you know what? When you ask me to get something tight, I go all the way. Here we are. That's tight as hell. That's not going out any day. And it's very flush on both ends. It is flush on the opposite face of the heater block. Yeah, it is flush. It is very flush everywhere. Preparing the heatsink slash brake. Alright, here we go. It test fit the 4mm PTFE tubing. Excuse me? This one? I mean... yeah, it works. Alright, sweet. The tube should insert and fully seat. Alright. Screw the heat brake into the heat sink. Okay, so that's the heat brake and that's the heat sink. Alright. Screw the heat brake into the heat sink. The heat sink is symmetrical, so either end is okay. Alright. Here we go. That's done. Fully tighten the heat brake using an 8mm of or this wrench. Oh, wrenches. Ouch. It's very small wrench. Much smaller. And that small wrenches. Small wrenches, no small wrenches. Small wrenches. Small wrenches, no small wrench. Maybe in my other stuff I have tools, I have these small wrenches. Maybe. No, it doesn't seem like it. Gosh darn it. Well, that's very sad. There's only one thing you can do in that case, and that is use this thing. Oh, be very gentle, I promise. Doesn't get much tighter than that. And so this very tight, very good, very good. All right. Yeah, that's done. Heater block slash brake slash sink. All right, that's nice. So screw the heat brake into the heater block at approximately 4mm. Boy. Screw the heat brake into the heater block approximately 4mm. What is that in terms of fraction of the length of this? 4mm. Let's get 4mm on here, and that's 4mm exactly. That's like halfway. No. It's like more than halfway. It's almost done. It's almost at the bottom, but not exactly. Gosh. Yeah, let's see. Why is 4 million in terms of this? There should be one fillet left. Alright. So screw it in. And about that. That's about it. Okay, so that's very loose. Okay. Okay. So screwing the heat brake is very at 4 millimeters about is very important. The nozzle should be able to go almost entirely into the heater block before getting stopped by the heat brake. The most critical part of this step is that you get the round cut out. What? Get the round cut out in the heatsink running. Wait a second. Running parallel the heater. Oh, I see. Okay. So about like that. Something like that, yeah. Parallel the heater cartridge and on the same side as the M3.5 times 10 screws as shown in pic indicated with 2 red arrows. Yeah. So for it to be in this position, that's about how it should look like. Something like that. Okay, next step is installing the nozzle. There's a lot of exclamation marks. Locate the brass nozzle, this thing. Screw nozzle into the bottom of the heater block that makes contact with the heat brake. Finger tight. No. Alright. That's that. I really want to align it. Good. Alright. On the next step, tighten the nozzle. Be sure not to damage the heater cartridge with the 15mm or whatever wrench. Be sure the nozzle is screwed in almost all the way before starting to tighten. Almost all the way, but not all the way. But really almost all the way. Be sure the nozzle is screwed in almost all the way. I saw that. Should be able to see one row of threads and fully tightened. See pick number 2. Well, that's fairly small. Okay. So that's about what I get. Yeah. Okay, tighten the nozzle fully. Alright. Again, I will not damage the heater cartridge, but I will have to use a bit more of a barbaric method. It's tight. It's tight. Don't make an expensive mistake. Yeah, it's tight. It's good enough. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I put my fingers on this and it's like, yeah. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Alright. Let's get back to business. Alright. Sorry for that. Should have my computer nearer to me. Okay, preparing the thermal safety fuse. Here we go. Locate the thermal safety fuse. This thing. It will come from SeemeCNC with a captain tail already wrapped around it and taped to itself. Yep. Trim the captain tail as shown in the image. So it goes from this to that. Okay, so that's an easy thing to do. Just use our nifty little pair of scissors inside here. Actually, I need a flathead screwdriver for that to work. And we trim the tape gently. There you go. That's about it. Okay, so we trim the captain tape. That's nice. Installing a thermal safety fuse. Alright. Slide the thermal safety fuse into the side of the heat sink with the black epoxy coated end being on the same side as the leads for the heater cartridge. So I get the black epoxy is like the cone here, and then we'll slide it in here like so. Oh, it does require a bit of strength, doesn't it? Okay, so we'll try and slide it the other way around. Maybe the cone shape will help. Yeah, it did. If we don't consider the black part, that should be about in the center. If the fit is too tight, stand screwdriver may be used to slightly flex the fins of the heat sink apart. No, it was good enough. You should center the thermal fuse in the heat sink. Yeah, it is. It is centered. After the thermal safety fuse is in place, use a standard screwdriver to gently flex the fin above and below the fuse that it is held securely in place. Okay. So just use a large that, so flex that downwards, I guess, and that upwards. It is pretty tight, so I guess that's good. Preparing to make the connection. Using a pair of needle nose pliers, bend the lead of the thermal safety fuse, the side with the black epoxy coating, to a 90-degree angle, making it parallel with the heatsink, heat break, and nozzle. Alright. Let's bend it. Yeah. And now these have to go in. Perform the same operation with one of the lead belonging to the heater cartridge. You may need to trim the lead of the thermal safety fuse so that the end of the lead comes even the end of the red insulation sleeve. Maybe just a little tiny bit. So one of the leads in the image, it shows the first one, well, the one nearest to the screws, so I'll use that one. So if I understand correctly, it actually needs to be inside this, right? Wait a sec. No. That's not the case. But it does match with the end and I don't need to trim it, so that's great. So, preparing the silicone high temp insulation. Locate one of the non-insulated wire ferrules. Okay, so the ferrule is... Whoa. Where is it? Where are the ferrules? It fell on the ground! That's awful. It's fine, we got one. One of these bad boys, and then the 55 millimeter long silicone, this thing, high temp insulation. Cut the red silicone high temp solution to 3 pieces 18 millimeters long. Oh god, okay, here it goes again. Where's my pen? Here, 18 millimeters long. Okay, 18. Oh boy. Oh. Come on. Okay. This is tedious. Alright, we got it. Again. Actually, you know what? Maybe it'll be better if you use this. Because it will cut straight down. I didn't just fuck it up, right? 3 pieces, 18 millimeters long. This is exactly 18 millimeters. And the last piece. Here we go. Insert the non-insulated wire ferrule into one of the pieces of red silicone high temp insulation, centering it. Okay. So we take one of these and one of those. Put this one inside. And we put it in the center. Using, I don't know, a screwdriver. Probably something like that. Whoops, other side. I don't want to do this too much. Just a little bit, that should be good. Is that about in the center? Alright. Inserting the wire ferrule. Slightly bend out the leads from the heater cartridge and the thermal safety fuse. Now in the image, it shows something like that. Something like that. We're gonna have this thing here. Oh, that picture kind of shows this being actually in the end, so let's have it as they show it. Just slightly inside. Alright. Okay, slide the ferrule with insulation installed over the heater cartridge lead and then manipulate the lead from the thermal safety fuse to get it inserted into the other end of the ferrule. Okay, so we get this here. And then, oh, Jesus. How the hell is this supposed to fit? Oh, God. These leads are both very hard to bend. Oh my. Should slide over. Yeah, in your dreams. Well, actually, if I had a gentler bend. Oh God, it will get pushed. Alright, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. And that proves that my setup of the now it goes about like this. In the you can see the instructions, it's a much more straight, but this is not going to go in as they intended it. I don't think so. I can't really see it, but I just hope that this lead is actually going all the way inside there. I really want to have a gentler bend here so that I can push this thing downwards. And be sure that it's really, really going correctly. Okay, at this point I'm almost certain it is. It has to. Alright, so it looks something like this, which is not so bad. Really? It looks a lot like what they show, so I'll deal with that. It seems to be good enough. Certain leads back out, so they're running parallel. Well, they're running pretty close to parallel, really. So I guess that's good enough. Crimping the ferrule. Oh, sweet. Got some love for the crimping wrench I bought, but I use so little that I don't even know where it is. Oh, there it is. I don't think they want us to use this though. Yeah, a pair of pliers. Fuck. Okay. Not this. Sorry, no love for you. Pair of pliers to have force. Well, I got that for you. So where do you crimp? the midpoint of the ferrule, crimp the upper portion, the side with the thermal safety fuse lead. Alright, I kinda want to get rid of this little part, but I can't seem to. Holy hell. What kind of force does that take? This is ridiculous. I don't think the scissors will help a lot. They're strong, but oh, they actually helped a lot. Wow, incredible. So I was finally able to crimp this, so you don't have a sort of wire poking out, which is great. So they said 3 steps. Locate the midpoint of the ferrule and crimp the upper portion, side with thermal safety fuse lead. Okay, thermal safety fuse is the one in the fins. So I'm trying to locate it here. Okay. Crimp this. Then the lower side. Crimp that. And then the midpoint, I assume. The center. Crimp it! Crimp it, boys! It's pretty flat now. I mean, there was nothing getting out of this, right? Before I crimped it. Now there's -1 thing getting out of this. Things are gonna get in, boys. Oh god, alright. That's interesting. Okay. Nice. Nice. Locate the other non-insulated wire ferrule and the high-temp fiberglass insulated wire. So the high-temp fiberglass insulating wire, I assume, is this red one here. And another ferrule. So another one of those small things. That's a piece of cat tape that I've trimmed off earlier. No, the honey is getting better, but yeah, the worst is still to come, unfortunately. So strip 10 millimeters of insulation from one end of the high-temp fiberglass insulated wire and 6 millimeters from the other end. Okay, so I'll put some marks on this. So let's start with 10 millimeter. Okay. So I'll put a mark here. I'll put 2 marks for the 10 millimeter. And then 1 mark for the 8 millimeter. Here we go. And now we get this. Then go very slowly. 6 millimeters from the other end, not 8 millimeters. I was about to do a mistake. Fortunately enough, I reread the instructions. And there we go. Okay. 6 millimeters on one hand, 10 millimeters on the other hand. Alright. That's good. Slide the wire ferrule over the end of the lead on the heater cartridge. Okay, so this with that on it, ferrule, let's see, there. Alright. Oh god, here we go. Installing high-temp fiberglass insulated wire. Slide the high-temp fiberglass insulated wire. Okay, this is interesting. Insulated wire side with the 10 millimeter strip into the other end of the wire ferrule. Okay, side with the insulated wire. Okay. Okay. So we get the 10 millimeter side and we put it inside the ferrule with the other lead. Okay. Until it's flush with the end of the wire ferrule. Right. Crimp the wire ferrule. Okay, so same thing. Locate the center. I have a lot of pliers here. Then crimp a little bit further than the center. Then crimp further to the other end and then crimp the center. Right, now this should hold very well. Installing the red silicone high temp insulation. One of the remaining 18 millimeter pieces. I have 2 remaining, that's 1. Where the fuck is this thing? Spirit of Mister fled to a better life. Stay in there, you little Yep. Okay, so over the connection that was crimped in the previous step. Alright, let's go. Why couldn't we put this on and then crimp? Because now this is going to be very annoying. Oh god. So ensure that the installation is fully covering the Nah. I'm doing it my way because your way is dumb. Slide the thing and then you crimp. Actually, you know what? It's like the first goddamn thing that should be done. Get something like this, and then you can crimp. God. It's good enough. You just keep it at that. It's good enough. It's not gonna slide off. Not easily. And the installation is fully covering the wire fed, while also covering the other wires. Bend the lead from the heater cartridge to a 90-degree angle. Okay. Trying to get a nice bend like we did with the other one. There we go. Like that. We got something like this going on. Set should not be parallel. The leg going to the terminal safety fuse. Yep, pretty much. And here we go. Prepare the thermistor. Fucking. I think I already have a thermistor inside its small tube. So I'm gonna use that. Carefully, the thermistor is a fragile component. If handled too rough, it will break. That's why they give us two. To their fragile nature, for those shipped after Nyanya, we'll include a spare thermistor. Hey, look at that! Spare thermistor. Look at the thermistor and the small PTFE tube. Cut the 100mm small PTFE tube in half. We'll have two pieces that are 50mm long each. Okay, let's get 50mm in here. Almost. Here we go. Again, use a knife, very sharp knife, because it does a straight cut. So we now have two pieces, 50mm each, as per the instructions. Insert the PFE tubes over the legs, each of the legs of a thermistor. This tube should be fully inserted up to the glass bead on the thermistor. Let's do that. And oh, this is ridiculously small, by the way. I think I'm still in control 2 mode, so yeah. I should actually twist the camera a bit. There we go. It's much better. Yeah, much better. Because I'll be here, then I'll be here. That's better. All right, and these things are very small. Oh my lenta. Next lead. And there we we go. Alright, what now? 90-degree bend at the end of the thermistor. Okay. Okay. Pinch the needle to do this. Oh, God. We need to bend the tubes too. Whoa. Pinch the needle nose pliers onto the edge PTFE that is covering the legs of the thermistor. Oh, Jesus. Hopefully that hasn't broken anything. Compare your results with the picture. My needle nose pliers are probably just a bit longer than your needle nose pliers. A bit larger, I mean. And not needle enough. So compare with the picture, that's about what we get. So I think that's good enough. Okay, now setting the thermistor. Locate the M3.5 times 6 millimeters Phillips head pH machine screw and the flat washer. Huh. Is it in this bag? Oh, I see. Yes, there it is. There's one screw and one washer that corresponds to this. Yeah, there was one of the screws that was larger than the other. That's a large screw here, and then the one washer inside this. Thermistor glass bead in first into the hole. The small hole here, I guess. The leads into this, and then I'm guessing, look at the pictures, I'm guessing, yeah, follow and washer on screw and then fully tighten. And then at that point you pretty much have your hot end complete. God damn it, I can't pick up this. So place it very correctly. Then, oh God. So I'll tighten it just a little bit. God damn it. My screwdrivers are everywhere. I'll tighten it just a little bit so that I have to worry so much. Oh God. What have I done? Okay. No. We're gonna use some tape to keep it in place. Well, actually, can I have this hold this? No, huh? By the leads, maybe? Yeah, that seems good enough. All right, so now I can actually work correctly. Thank you, little arm. Maybe this a bit more. This has been, by the way, heating up a lot next to the computer. I don't know how good that is for a computer, but it's probably not very good. Oh god, I don't want to lose this. I'm a thermistor. I'm very fragile. Yeah, right. I don't want to do what you want me to do. Oh, my man. Oh. Here we go. I would have been never able to do this if it wasn't for this arm. Oh, hell yeah. We did it. It's fully tight. Thermistor is in place. We did it. We did the hot end. And now comes the hard part. Oh god, installing the HE280 hot end PCB. Locate the PCB. Oh god. And the adapter. The adapter is here. I got it. So we got our scissors, and we will cut through this anti-static bag. Now I wonder where is the sensor on this. It's probably in those things. Probably a piezoelectric sensor. Alright, here we go. The E0 Studio /hot end PTC adapter through the hole in the center of the HE280 hot end PCB board. Alright. Oriented like this, like so. Hand tighten the easy extruder. No. Okay. Hand tighten the easy extruder hot end PCB adapter. The heat shrink against the HE220 hot end PCB board. Ensure that the tab of the board that notes SeemeCNC is parallel with the edge of the heater block noted in the image. As noted in the image. Okay, so that's the edge of the heater block we're looking for. And the SeemeCNC is written here. So you want this to go this way around. Try and not hit any of the components while I'm doing this. That would be very nice. So we need to have it parallel. Oh, this is weird. It looks like it can just slightly go there. I'll get it almost tight and then we'll arrange the orientation. There we go. Okay, so here, when it's parallel like this, then as we tighten this up, want these two things to be parallel to each other. They're slightly off. Adjust this. They're parallel again. You probably don't need to be perfectly parallel, but might as well. Alright, so that's actually fairly good, I think. So we'll keep it at that. It's the right end of the thing, right? Yeah. Okay, so we've done that. Confirm current alignment, confirm the current alignment with the HE280 out NPC board, the rest of the hot end assembly. Once confirmed, fully tightened E0 screw slash out NPCT adapter. I actually think I got a wrench for that. So it shouldn't really turn at all. Yeah. That's really tight. Alright. Actually. I may want to tighten it just a little bit more. I'm trying to keep the PCB from rotating. That's gonna be good enough. Alright. Alright. Here we go. Routing the high temp insulated wire. Alright. So here. Select the high temp insulated wire that is crimped into the heater cartridge and insert into the hole on the HE280 hot end PCB marked with a plus. Okay, so it orients this way. Then it says there's a hole with a plus. There is a hole with a plus. There it is. Now it's through the hole with a plus. Now it's not as nice as theirs, but now that's how it's gonna be. It looks fairly good installation wise. It's just that it squiggles around a bit because it's a tad too long. That should be fine, right? Maybe get it to have a nicer bend downwards, maybe. Alright, so that's gonna have to be good enough. That's the best I can get it to. Okay, now. Yeah, installation resting against the bottom of the board. So the thermistor legs into the true holes on the HE280 on NPCB board. The true holes that are used are noted in the image indicated by red arrows. The true holes that are used are located to the right of the text part plus. Okay. Okay, PDFE tubing should rest bottom of the HC280 hot end PCB board is okay if the thermistor leads have a slight bow to them between the heater blade and PCB. This is actually preferred, so do not trim the PFT legs down from the stock length. Okay, so maybe I should trim this. Maybe I should. There's 2 people watching. Try and comment if you want me to trim this so that it's straight like the image shows, instead of the whole weird squiggly thing we got going on right now. Because that's a bit strange. And not very satisfying either. Yeah. All right, so we've gone through this step. Now, routing thermal safety fuse leg. Oh, we had one last of those, right? Yeah. Flex it enough so it can be inserted into the PCB board through the hole opposite of plus. Ouch. Okay. This is... Ah! This is very fiddly. This is way too long. Excuse me? Did you guys see that? The installation just... The installation just went fine! What the hell is it? Oh god. This is not very good. I actually need that insulation. Is it down here? No, it's not. It doesn't look like it just fell down. It just went flying across the room. Oh god. This is not great. Oh. God damn it. is it? That's great, but installation.